inclusion is a theory. It's something very difficult to achieve. But if people have watched even just a minute of what was going on here at Musgrave, this week, this is simple. We came about almost 10 years ago now because a guy wanted to play full contact rugby, and there was not such a provision at that time, and it was very clear he wanted to play full contact, not any kind of adapted or segregated provision like touch or tag. We didn't really know where to go, and so we started to include it in a kind of mainstream club that was close to us. That was 10 years ago, and fast forward now to 2022, we have several thousand players all over the world playing mixed ability rugby. So from one guy, I just spread all over the world.
I look at the impact through two lenses. I look at the impact on the athletes and the families that have never had an opportunity, and that's mind-blowing. And it just shows you what anyone can achieve and do. And I think the other side is the impact on the athletes who aren't disabled, and looking at how basically their mindsets have been changed. Their attitudes toward people with disabilities have changed. So it's not just on the field, but you're seeing these friendships. You're seeing our athletes being hired by their teammates in workplaces. And I think that's what we're most proud of, is that culture of inclusion is now spilling from the rugby field actually into society. And that's something we're really happy to see.
I wanted to join Olympic level sport. I wanted to join people or players on a team with disabilities and without disabilities so they could understand that I have autism. And I just want people to understand that I have ways of dealing with my anxiety in a positive manner and positive society that I want to live in.
It's important that he's made the decision he wants to do this. I mean, he has a disability, but it's his right to make the decision of what he wants to play. The team in the league, it's like a family. Like, you need help, they'll be there. I have seen a kid grow more in the last 2 years with this team than I have in the last 21 years he's been alive. We've been told he can't so many times, right? And he can.
We're not talking about disability here, we're talking about diversity. It's not us and them, okay? And it's just for me, this is the main transformation. If you take that to a societal level, it means that the interaction that you have with people that you wouldn't normally interact with, you carry that into your workplace, you carry that when you go to the supermarket, you carry that when you walk along the road and you see people come from a different background, different religions. It transforms the way you see the community around you. And to me, this is invaluable.
I'm finding it quite interesting. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having fun. It's being a part of a team and basically learning how to enjoy yourself.
This team was just formed in February. We've had people in the program for 2 years. But they've been very inclusive, and they've all adapted to try to include us as much as possible, which is very good. We have people just learning, people who are excellent, and people who've been playing for 30 plus years, so it's all good.
I think for me, thinking about the guys coming from Chile, from Ecuador, I was talking to the guys from Ecuador, for example, and for many of them, it's not the first time outside the country, it's the first time outside the village. And I think that the IMART and the tournament has given them the opportunity to actually have a passport and going out and be considered as athletes, parading in the opening ceremony and playing as equal. And, they show me videos of the school where they usually train, and there were 80 kids in the morning watching the stream, cheering on their team. And, yes, you can be proud, but really this is something that goes well beyond any kind of individual feeling. This is something that tells you that this is working. We don't need labels. We don't need people to be segregated and separated according to what people believe. We just need to be together and to find a way of carrying forward together. But if this works in rugby, it can work in other sports. So this week we had the very first international mixed ability regatta, and we had showcase in football, in boxing. In England we have 15 different sports. So this is a model that can work for grassroots sports.
I think mixed ability football is a great chance for people who have disabilities to get to play in an environment that's safe for them and they can enjoy themselves and express themselves. And I think that with mainstream football, not all the people here today are able for that and that level. So this is a perfect opportunity, besides the weather, for people to come out and have a bit of fun.
We're working with a number of different sports in Canada at the moment. Rugby is obviously kind of leading the way because it's a great global model to follow. But we've had conversations with Ringette Canada, Skate Canada. We've been doing some work with dragon boating, and there's just such a demand for the model in Canada. So we're looking at taking sport by sport and those mainstream settings and making sure that anyone of any background and ability can have actually access to those settings.
I still can't believe it. I think it's still very much like a dream. Like the last 3 or 5 days have been like a dream, really. But that tells us how much the communities, and this community in this particular instance, but all the communities that host a mixed ability club care about that, and how much they feel passionate, how much they feel committed about changing the world around. And we are not talking about disability here. We're talking about people who want a better world, where everyone belongs, where everyone fit in, where everyone just have a role for what and who they are. And this is what people want. They want to be normal, they want to be accepted. And that, regards every one of us. And for us, is possible. And every person counts.